After the war, there was a kind of call in the air about to help Britain back on its feet. So the people from the Windrush just didn't come like that. There was a reason why they came. There was a kind of was affinity with England as the mother country.
Right.
She needs help. We're going to come and help, give help. And plus, when they wanted recruits, they went to quite a number of the islands, including Barbados and some other islands, and recruited people to come here to kind of re-establish structures that were broken down because of the bomb. Because a lot of the English young men, they went away to war. Some never came back. Yeah. And the others that came back, many of them, they were hurt, injured, and so forth. Used to have broadcasts from England, the BBC. This is the BBC, and everybody will listen, you see, because this is where we got the worldwide news. We got it from Americans, but the point is that the BBC was the focal point. Whatever England said, that's the BBC, you understand me? And that is kosher. And, and so you listen to it and you pick up information. Then all of a sudden, what was happening? A lot of the young fellas left and came to England, and then they used to send back photographs because you still had conscription. When you came, after a month or two, you were sent papers. Ministry want to see you. And you either went in the RAF, which is the Royal Air Force, they call it the RAF. So a lot of the fellows came, and I suppose some of them got exemption. I don't know because I wasn't here. I didn't work on the railway. I never had any intention of working on the railway. And the fellows worked on the buses. I saw them on the buses. I asked them, well, how are you? How are things going? They said, a bit rough, but I'm working, and so forth and so forth. Because people communicated with each other because we were all in the same boat as they usually say in Guyana. You got pictures of the fellas sending back pictures with the snow, and a hair like that, because they used to wear what they call it the buff, lots of hair, and they're wearing these coats, and you say, man, this look fantastic, man. And we look at the fella and say, man, this look fantastic. Said, he used to call me Pilly. Pilly, you're gonna go? So I said, but I think I have to go up, Yeah. So I booked my ticket the first time in 1955. But then I think there was a war that started. I think it was in the Suez, if I'm not mistaken. And they asked me, said, boy, if you go to England, you have to go in the army. I said, I'm sure of that. So I changed my mind. Then I booked again in 56. But then they had a war started, I think it's in Hungary, the Hungarian crisis. I said, I'm not going. But then 57, later 56, I said, I'm definitely going, regardless of whether they have Suez crisis, Hungarian crisis, I'm going to England. And there were other reasons which I wouldn't say too much about. I just decided I wanted to leave Guyana and to come to England. And also, at that time, my fiancée Lara, she was in America. She was working with Pastor Neblett, and they kindly took her to America, and she worked with them and so forth. So I wrote to her and I said to Lara, I'm coming to England. She said, well, I'm coming to England too. So I booked my ticket in, and I got my suitcase and everything packed and so forth. But the trouble is, in Guyana, the rivers are very powerful and they bring a lot of alluvial soil from the mountains. Massive rivers. In fact, there's a river called Essequibo. It's 25 miles wide from Burasiri to Point Blair. Massive. And it's so powerful because you have the Kachor Fall, one of the highest waterfalls in the world. I think it's 700 and something feet, one drop. But it's not. They have a higher fall, which they call the Angel Fall in Venezuela. but it's nothing in comparison. The volume of water that comes over Cartier, no way in the world have that volume and so forth.
What was the ship that you boarded?
The Antilles, SS Antilles, a French liner. In sterling, which is a lot of money, I think it was about 80-something pounds.
Oh wow, that's
it's a lot of money.
In 1958.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That sounds quite expensive.
That's right.
So you boarded this ship.
Well, before I boarded the ship, I had to get a ship to get me to Trinidad.
Okay.
So I had a friend, and he organized a trip for me to go via Tobago. That's the sister island of Trinidad. So I left the Thursday evening and arrived sometime on the Friday in Tobago. I spent the Sabbath in Tobago, went to church, and then later in the evening, we traveled to Trinidad by boat, that same boat.
Right.
And I arrived there, and one of the pastors, Pastor Davis, he organized a Christian lady in Trinidad to keep me for 5 days. I paid her and everything. And then I boarded the Antilles.
So what was your trip like? What was your route? 17
days trip. We left Trinidad, we went to Barbados. From Barbados, I think we went to Antigua. And from Antigua, we were going to Haiti, but there was a revolution there. And so they decided for us to go to Hispaniola, which is the other half of the island, which is Spanish. And then from Puerto Rico, the French sailor says, Vigo, Spain. We saw a lot of poverty.
Really?
Yes, poverty. Children come and say, una pesita, pesita, pesita. And we had changed money, and I just say, whatever you want. So, Senor, say yes. And so, with the table, so no, take the big one, and so forth. What he said, all of us keep saying, wow. Because you never expected Europe to be like that, but it was after the war. From Vigo, Spain, we asked the sailors where we going. They said, Plymouth. So we coming to England.
Plymouth?
Yes, Plymouth.
Right.
And so we came, but we didn't see Plymouth because it was foggy. Terribly foggy. And we said, oh. And then all of a sudden the ship stopped. And then from Plymouth, we had to take the train to Paddington.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the instruction when you landed at Plymouth? Who was kind of telling you what to do, where to go? Or what was the plan? Where did you get your plan?
Nobody said you have to organize the plan from where you're coming from. And my friends, they arranged for me where I was going to go, because I went, I saw the place, the street I passed there in Islington. I can't remember.
Yes.
But it was kind of hotel. It was a black fella, who came many years before, and he had a kind of hotel that black folks could go, and even white folks could go, and he had a room. And so my friend and I, the friends, yes, and they were your ears, your hands, your feet, everything. They guided you because you were in a strange country.
Yeah.
And they sometimes arranged for you to get a job and so forth.
So you had friends here before?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yes.
So what was England like? You arrived to England, you had this beautiful picture when you were in Guyana. Now that you are here in Paddington and in Islington, you're laughing. What was England like? What was it?
It was a shock to the system. What happened is that you can't envisage war. Because when I came, you might see a building, and then you don't see several buildings. Just chaos where the bombs fell. The place was blackened because the fuel they used was coal. I came to June, and England was a very damp country. Very, very cold. Colder than now. Very, very cold. You have to be wearing heavy coats and so forth. And what happened in the November, the smog came down. I don't think you've ever seen smog. Smog is coal dust mixed with fog. And so it's blackened. About this time, it becomes like you come into about 11 o'clock at night. By 12 o'clock, you don't see anybody. You hear movements of people. And if you're outside your bunks, you say, sorry, sir. You don't see them.
So it was that dark that you're walking.
Yes,
and
that's
you're literally
hitting definitely.
Because that's from the cold.
Yes, and the fog.
And the fog.
Mixed together. If you want your hair cut, because the English folks, they never cut a black man's hair, was fellas. Once they get a razor blade and a comb, they could cut your hair. The girls, they used to do the hot iron, and all the girls used to be packed. This is the beauty of Holloway Church, the Christian community. Holloway Church, it was the main church. And what happened, the first thing that one did was to find where the Adventist church was. And when you go there, it was a community that held together by being away from home. You made that home. It was a kind of a mental thing like that. And we were very much together. Everything was done in a very, very togetherness.